guys are new viewers, we are live, so whatever we're about to find, you're going to find with me in real time. We're also interactive, so you can ask us about what we're finding in the bush, and you can do that by sending an email to questions@WildEarthTV, or you can use the hashtag SafariLive if you're on Twitter. We're just going to stand by here while one of the other game drive vehicles moves out. But I'm quite excited about the sighting. There's actually quite a story to it, which I will tell you about very shortly. So you might hear me chat to some of the other safari guides while we are here. So we're just waiting for the other vehicles to move so we can get in there, and you can see them has spotted vultures on a nest in the distance. So white-backed vultures sitting on their nest. I'm just going to move my vehicle so Ryan can get out. Who can spot what's right in front of my vehicle?
Good afternoon. Any update?
There we go. We have a big male leopard. He is sitting in quite a difficult position, but let's see who can identify this leopard. So let me know which leopard you think this is. You can do that by sending an email to questions@WildEarth.tv, or you can use the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter. So a big adult male leopard. And we'll have a look shortly in the tree. I'm just going to move the vehicle in a second, then we can have a look in the tree to what he's got. Did you see how he looked up there, and there's actually a vulture flying overhead, and you'll see lions and leopards do that quite often. So you can see how big he is. You see that size in his neck. You can see he's well fed. So it has been quite a warm day, so heavy panting. He does have a kill in the tree. We're just unable to show it to you from this position right now, but we will as soon as we get the chance to. And then I'll explain where the story is, because some of you guys who watch regularly will have seen that exact impala before. And let's see if anyone can figure out who and where they saw that impala, or with who. Nice big boy. I I don't know if you guys can actually pick that up on the sound, but you can hear some small birds twittering, sort of and they're alarm calling, and possibly at that leopard. They might be a little bit far away to be alarm calling at that leopard. Well done to Remy, who was the first to get this in. This is Tingana, and I know a lot of you got it right, so well done to everyone. But this is Tingana. Here's the dominant male leopard we see most often on Arathusa. He shares a territory, a boundary, sorry, not a territory, with Mvula, and we occasionally see him right on the edge of Djuma, but the majority of his territory falls outside of Djuma, to the west and to the south. But at the moment he has been pushing a little bit further into Djuma, but there's a new male that the guides from Arathusa have told me about called the Anderson male, who comes from a farm called Ottawa, who's pushing Tingana onto Tingana's territory. To see if Tingana pushes further into Mvula's territory as well. But we will move as soon as we can to get a better view. So what's happening with a sighting like this, where there's one spot that's definitely better than the others, everyone will take turns and cycle through that position. So we'll just wait patiently our turn, and we will be able to get a better view of the leopard and his kill. I might be able to move a little bit so you can see the kill now. There's another. See him lying up, and we'll show you the kill shortly. While we were off air, I bumped into Sean and we were chatting, and I said some of you might have seen that exact impala before, and I wonder who can figure out where and with who that you saw that impala, and it wasn't with a leopard. There it is. He's put it in the tree. There's a lovely backlit impala carcass for you. So you can see he's fed quite a bit on it already, and that's why he's fat and lazy. And it's quite nice and safe there, unlikely that it's actually no hyenas are going to be able to get it. And so it's popped in a nice jackalberry or African ebony that's actually overlying a drainage line, so it's even higher below than it would be if it was just standing out in the open. If you hear that crashing behind us, it's another vehicle coming in to enjoy this magnificent animal. I'm just going to have to move a little bit so we can let the other vehicle also get a view. Hi Ellen, welcome on the Sunset Safari. Ellen would like to know if there's any sign of Karula, as Tingana has been mating with her. It was mating with her last week, and they did share a kill together. You know, the last time Karula was actually spotted was further to the north from here, quite a long way from where we are now. So I think that mating's over. Leopards normally only mate a female normally only mate with a single male for about 4 or 5 days before moving on. Sometimes it can go on for as long as a week, but generally it's about 4 or 5 days.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
so it just looks like him here, and I just want to check, has anyone figured out where you might have seen that impala before, and with who you might have seen that impala with? Remember, you can send your answer. So we are going to sit here for a bit longer. It's getting a bit cooler, and I'm hoping he might move back towards the tree, but there are a lot of other vehicles in this area, and they've been kind enough to give us a chance to come in and view this animal. So we might have to leave before he goes into the tree, but I will keep an ear out, and we definitely will probably come follow up on this tomorrow again. Very well done, Kathleen. That's correct. Mark found a young male impala that seems to have died from natural causes. It could have been disease or just ill health. Sorry, my radio is beeping. And what happened, I was chatting to Sean while we were off air, who's one of the guides from Arathusa, and Sean said that they went by to check on that carcass a couple of times, and then they went by where these male leopard tracks had come and picked up this carcass and dragged it off. So then him and his tracker walked and followed those drag marks till they found Tingana with this kill in the tree. So it is the same young male impala that was seen with Mark, I think yesterday morning, on drive, that had died of natural causes, and there was just a few sort of scrapes where the vultures had started trying to open up the carcass. So well done. So it has a perfect example of how an animal like a leopard, which is generally a predator, is not adverse to scavenging at all. Specifically a male leopard. I mean, male leopards will steal kills from advantage of that. They are an opportunist.
anyway, we got
Hi, Janet. A drop over his left eye. Janet, of all the leopards, this is probably one of the leopards I've seen the least of. So let me just try. Have a look with my camera. Fortunately, his head's very much in the grass. But Janet, I'll wait till we move and then I'll try have a look if that distinctive teardrop spot is above his left eye. It really is incredible how well you guys know your leopards. Very, very impressive. Guys, I'm just going to have to chat to one of the other game drive vehicles quickly. How many more? How many more are standing by? Just two. Okay. Tony and my fuzz. Whereabouts? Where? Which my fuzz, do you know? Sharp, thanks for. How's it, Doug? Thanks. Sorry, checking the vehicle movements and that. So we've got a Hi, Christy from Kansas. Welcome on the Sunset Safari, Christy. Christy would like to know, why is he breathing so hard? Well, Christy, it's because he's got a very full belly full of impala, and the digestive process causes quite a lot of heat. So unlike us that release our heat via sweating, they have to pant. So his breathing hard is to cool himself down. He's breathing so hard because he does have a very full belly. Hi, Josh. Welcome on the Sunset Safari. Josh would like to know if the impala died from a disease. Is it possible that Tingana might become infected by it? It is always possible, Josh, but highly unlikely. You would think that with the amount of carrion and that and rotting flesh that an animal like a leopard can eat, the inside of his stomach is very, very strong and is able to really sort of get rid of and kill out most of the parasites. Even though he probably is carrying a lot of parasites naturally, most predators do because of the rotting flesh and stuff they eat, but it would have to be a very specific disease that would actually affect the leopard. He was a young male, born this year, possibly not in the best condition, and we've had a big cold snap recently, and I think the cold is probably what got him, because he wasn't in the best condition. Hi, Remy. Welcome back, and thanks for another question this evening on the Sunset Safari. Remy is a bit worried about the vultures that we saw on the nest earlier. Remy would like to know if that nest was discovered by a predator like this leopard that we're sitting next to, would the vultures abandon the nest? Remy, what I'll try to do is we'll try to have another look at it when we move out of here, but it is very, very unlikely. Remy, that nest is so high up on top of the tree, there are very few predators that will be able to get there. I think the vulture would be more worried about possibly a snake, but even then, unlikely. That would probably be the most likely thing to raid a vulture's nest. So I'm pretty sure that nest isn't going anywhere, especially not because there's a leopard in the vicinity. Hi, Marianne. Welcome on the Sunset Safari. Oh, he's lifted his head. Marianne would like to know what I would guess his weight to be. I'm just going to try and get a picture of that teardrop we were talking about earlier. Let's get it back in the bush. I would probably guess he's probably around, at the top end, around 80 kilograms, maybe a little bit more, 82, 83 kilograms. He is a big adult male. Leopards don't really get too much beyond that. It is possible for them to get beyond that, and I know of leopards in the Sabi Sands that have been recorded at over 90 kilograms. But it is unusual. I'd guess he's around 80 kilograms to be his weight, which is a sizable leopard. Very interesting thing with leopard sizes, it depends a lot on the area they live in. So if you take, for example, there's a population of leopards that live in the Western Cape and in South Africa, and they live in a type of environment called fynbos, which is small, scrubby bush with very little trees and very little large ungulates or large herbivores. So there's gracebook, which is a tiny little antelope, and then also there's lots of rodents and birds and insects, and that is what those leopards in that area will feed off, and hyrax. And a big male Western Cape leopard, or Cape Mountain leopard as they call it, and a female can be as light as in the Western Cape of around 12 to 18 kilograms, which, I mean, that's a similar weight to a caracal. And then a female in this area will weigh upward of 40 kilograms, occasionally for up to 50 kilograms, so bigger than a male in the Western Cape. And that's almost purely because of diet. There is genetically no difference between those animals, between the two populations. The leopards here in the low fold have access to a lot of really good food, and large food like impala and baby wildebeest during the lambing season for wildebeest. So there's a lot of big food, and that's why these animals are able to grow so big. Oh, nice stretch. I love it when they do that. It almost looks like they're hugging themselves.
But otherwise, they're respectful.
You can see his ears constantly flicking. The flies are around. He'll be quite relieved because he's going to get some respite from those flies quite shortly. Sure. So, guys, we just hang on a second. We're going to move the vehicle again, just so Louis can escape. So we've caused the traffic jam. So he's going to move out of the way quickly. So we'll be back with them in a second, and now, as I said, we all take turns in that best position, so very shortly we're going to be directly opposite referred to earlier, but I'm very happy we've found a leopard, and I'm really excited. This is not a leopard that I see often, and it's quite nice to know what happened to that impala that Mark saw, that Mark found on drive, and we now sort of closed the story and shown quite an interesting aspect of leopard behavior, that they are not only hunters, they will scavenge given the opportunity. So I'm just checking. Okay, nearly time. Not many better ways to spend a sunset than sitting with a nice big male leopard. confirmed. There we go. I can see that teardrop that was being referred to now. If we check up, well, when he turns his head again. You can see those eyes getting quite heavy there. You can actually see how fast he's respiring now with that full belly. Oh, the flies. I know how you feel, big guy. Constant flicking of the ears. Good evening, Lisa from Syracuse. Welcome on the Sunset Safari, Lisa. Lisa mentioned that James was speaking about when leopards scent mark and they urinate on bushes. Lisa would like to know whether it leaves a visual mark or stains the plant, causing sort of, if it was a green plant, for it to go yellow. Lisa, it doesn't. I have never seen that. It just leaves a sort of olfactory marker that will be picked up by other leopards, and that little scent marker will contain a whole bunch of information: age, sex, whether they're an estrus or not. So it's sort of a leopard signpost, but it doesn't mark or stain the bush or tree that they scent mark on.
Also, when they eat, their stomach fills up and it actually pushes a little bit into the lung diaphragm, so it takes a bit of that sort of capacity.
Hi, Connie from Oregon. Welcome on the Sunset Safari. Connie would like to know, is it possible for leopards to inherit the exact same spot pattern from their parents into the cubs? I mean, Connie, it's unlikely, but it is possible, I suppose, but very, very unlikely. The odds would be huge. And it's possible they have similarities or slightly similar patterns, but to have the exact same one would be nearly impossible. So now that it's a bit cooler, what I'm doing is I am hoping he's going to move up towards the tree. It is unlikely with that very fat belly he has, as you can see there now. Zulu word for that would be sutile, which is I'm done, I'm full, can't eat anymore. But I'm quite sure sometime during the evening he will definitely head back up into the tree and start feeding again. days ago. I'm not exactly 100% sure where the impala was found, but I know it was down towards the second mineral, which is probably about 300 meters, maybe not that far from here. Also, there's a lot of people wondering how far the impala carcass is from where he's lying. So what we'll do is we're going to pan across from the leopard to the impala now. Oh, the flies are really irritating him. He's going to try bite one. Okay, head down. Okay, I'll show you where the impala carcass is now. So if we have a look right in front of me, probably this, not even 10 meters away, is where the impala carcass is. And you can see, if we go a little closer, he's eaten quite a bit. The stomach's out, and he's eaten quite a bit of the meat around there. The ribs, and some of the back straps, but the legs are still intact. Quite a nice position where he's hanging a steep drainage line, so even though it might not look that high to us, there's another drop off of about 2 or 3 meters below that. So from the base of the tree it's even higher. And isn't that wonderful? What a wonderful sunset safari scene. Hi, Khada. Khada would like to know, said when we saw that sighting with Mark, there were vultures already there. So isn't it possible for vultures to eat a whole impala carcass in a few hours? Most definitely, Khada, it is very possible. There'd have to be quite a big group of vultures. But what is also possible is that he would have noticed the vultures dropping down and then gone to investigate, and that's how he would have found the carcass. Hi, 20 Pine. Welcome on the Sunset Safari. Would like to know whether there are any black panthers here in the Sabi Sands. Well, 20, the interesting thing about a black panther is it's actually just a color variant on a leopard. It's a menelistic leopard, and so that means it's a very dark sort of black coloring, and that's menelism. So a menelistic leopard would be a black panther. As far as I'm aware, there have been no menelistic leopards ever recorded in the Sabi Sands, but probably about probably 120 kilometers from here, there is a place where menelism has been recorded in leopards before, in a town called Leidenburg. So there have been menelistic leopards recorded there. Also, in the Central African rainforests, menelism is a lot more common, and that could just be an adaptation to dealing in a very dark climate like a rainforest. And believe it or not, I was lucky enough to see one when I was quite young in the wild in northern Zululand, also in South Africa. So a menelistic leopard. Hi, Dylan from Iowa. Dylan would like to know what the bite force of a male leopard is? Dylan, I'm afraid I don't know. So maybe you guys who have access to the wonderful world of the internet out there can give me a hand and have a look. So who can tell me what the bite force of a male leopard is? Or you can use the hashtag Safari Live if you're on Twitter. Hi, Gerda. Thanks for another question. Gerda would like to know whether a hyena would be able to jump high enough to get that impala. Well, a suicidal hyena, possibly. If we have a look, I'm going to try. We can't really see it from where we are, but from where that impala carcass is there, it's on the lip of a drainage line of a dry riverbed. So that's probably at where it is. What do you think, Finn? 3 meters?
More 5.
And with the dip, probably 6, 7?
Yeah, sure.
6, 7 meters. I'm not sure what that is in feet, but I don't think a hyena would actually be able to. It would be quite tantalizing. It would actually probably be quite a funny sighting to watch, because to see if they would leap off the lip of the drainage line to try and grab that leg. Hi, Jennifer from Toronto. Jennifer would like to know whether that's a tick on the left ear of the leopard. It is, Jennifer. It is a tick. There are quite a few on him. Oh, here we go. We might... Oh. There's a leaf stuck to him. It looks like he might climb the tree for us, guys. No, he's just going to lie down closer to him. There's still a possibility he might go towards the tree. Just excuse me for a second. There we go. You can actually see the flies that are irritating him so much, and you can see there's quite a bit of blood there, and that's some of the flies biting him, and that's what causes quite a lot of the tatters on a leopard's ears. You can see that huge neck and muscle, which is very different from a female. You can see that sort of those jowls, that sort of dewlap of skin underneath. Just excuse me a second, guys. I just need to chat to one of the vehicles. I can't actually go there. How many vehicles standing by?
I think it's one there.
One.
Yeah.
And what's happening with Mafaz?
She's got my pimpan, so when I go.
Huh?
She's got my pimpan and the cup.
Which one?
The shadow.
And she's still at Red Dam?
No, she moved down south, but she got a baby now.
Okay. These radios are shupans.
You don't have to always move it.
Well, he's moving. Looks like he might go up the tree. I'm just gonna swing so get into the best position. Here we go. How amazing is that, guys? See how easily a big male leopard like that went up that tree. Just get the thorns out of my arm quickly. But how's that for incredible?
I just shot him.
He's going to move, he might move the car because it is at quite a precarious angle. And he doesn't want half of it to drop and a waiting hyena to be there. He's settling down now. He's going to try to get comfortable. But he might move and lift that carcass again.
Come around.
Hi, hello, Donna on Twitter. I would like to know how old leopards can get in the wild. Well, that's quite an interesting question, and it can be very, very variable. For a male leopard, it's unusual for them to get sort of past 15 or 16 years old. Normally, closer to 12, 13, they will either die from the injuries from a fight with another leopard, or from another leopard, or get caught by hyenas or whatnot. So once he's past his prime, it is quite difficult for a male leopard to survive. And female leopards, normally I think most of the books say it's about 16, 15, but I've personally seen a leopard that is a female leopard in the Sabi Sands who managed to make it into her 20s. Just, I think. Well, thanks very much, Adam, for the information on the bite force of the leopard. On the canines, it's 166 kilogram, I presume, per square centimeter. And then on the carnassals, which are the catching teeth on the side, it's 226 kilograms per square centimeter. Thank you very much for that, Adam. So, a bit of patience paid off again this evening. Just waiting as it got cooler for him to climb the tree. Wasn't that a spectacular sight? Hi, Tina, from Houston. Welcome on the Sunset Safari. Happened to that carcass of the impala that was seen in Arathusa Dam, I think with Mark. Tina, I haven't heard anything. I'll try to ask Sean a little bit later, see if he has heard anything. If we keep quiet, you can actually hear him crunching through the rib cage. Oh, he's finished. He's got a nice piece of meat now. Susan. Welcome on Sunset Safari. Susan is from Georgia. Susan would like to know, do big cats eat grass like domestic cats when they're not feeling well? Susan, they do occasionally, and it's normally, I haven't seen them do it very often. I don't think they do it as often as domestic cats, but I have seen them do it occasionally, and that's normally to try get themselves to be sick and to throw up whatever is causing the discomfort. If you guys can hear that, there's a crested barbet. I can't see it, but it's probably a meter or two above that leopard's head, calling away. Hi, Sarah from New York. Welcome on Sunset Safari. Sarah would like to know, does a leopard that finds a dead antelope know whether it's safe to eat? Well, Sarah, I would guess so. I've seen animals react to certain diseases, like if a rabid animal comes anywhere near a non-rabid animal, they definitely can sense that there's something not quite right with that animal, and they will definitely move away at quite a high speed. But where they can pick up disease in a carcass they found, I'm not sure. I don't think so, though. Barbet's making lots of noise. Alright, Daisy's Place. Daisy's Place would like to know whether leopards get cavities. Most definitely, and as the animal gets older, those cavities can be quite bad and cause broken teeth and abscesses. So yes, they do get cavities, and obviously their teeth have quite a hard life. All the birds all around us at the moment, we've got arrow-marked babblers and fork-tailed drongo, and of course that crested barbet. It'd be quite funny if they decide to start mobbing the leopard like they would an owl or other smaller predator. Just listen to that though. Just a quick reminder, guys, there's a very special fireside chat on tonight, and that will be starting at 11:30 Eastern Time or 5:30 Central African Time, and very, very special fireside chat, so be sure not to miss it. Hi, James from Kansas City. Welcome on Sunset Safari. James is saying when Tingana first stood up, he noticed what he thought might be a hernia or a wound on his rib cage. I did notice it as well, and I did give it a second look. It was actually just an orange combretum leaf that was stuck to his skin, but I did notice that as well, James. I'm sorry, a combretum leaf, a bush willow leaf from the red bush willow he was lying under. Brenda would like to know, do leopards ever follow vultures to a possible kill? And would they eat very, very rotten, decaying meat? Sure, I'm having to compete with the birds this evening. Oh, and look, it seems like they listened. They all kept quiet then. So Brenda, yes, I think that's possibly how this leopard found this carcass. If there were vultures there already, he might have noticed them dropping and then made his way to investigate. He might have been also investigating to check if there were lions in the area, and that leopard will do that. And when it comes to eating decaying meat, most definitely he will eat meat that is so rotten and so full of maggots you wouldn't believe, and definitely a carcass that vultures would have been feeding on. He would chase them off and take it. I mean, all predators are opportunists, so it is quite interesting. But he would definitely eat decaying meat without a problem. So see, I said he might move the carcass. It was in a bit of a precarious spot. So now he's popped into a spot that looks a bit safer, less likely to drop. Hi, Bill from Ontario. Bill would like to know whether the birds are making so much noise because they possibly have a nest in the area. Bill, probably not. I just think they might have been coming. Not amused with that situation, but it is unlikely they have a nest. Had a nest in this particular tree, and they will mob almost all predators, whether they be lion, leopard, or whatnot, if they are stationary in an area that they would like to utilize. Hi, Tim from Kansas City. This is going to be our last question for the evening. Tim would like to know whether there are any other animals that might climb the tree to try to steal the carcass from the leopard. A lioness, I think, would probably try to get up there, and she might be able to succeed in getting that. So, Tim, probably only lions would try to steal that from in the tree from the leopard. So everyone, it's been such a fantastic sunset safari. We've really, really enjoyed having you with us. And from my side, I always love seeing leopard. And it's always great to see a leopard that I don't get to see too often. So this is always special and wonderful that you climbed up the tree in front of us. And I'm sure you guys had a great time with James as well on Wendy. And James has already gone to close down to help with the fireside chat. So I'm going to say goodnight from James and Brian as well. And then from Viam and myself, it's been fantastic having you guys out here. It's such a privilege to be able to share our passion and love for the wilderness and for nature and all its facets with you guys all over the world. So have a wonderful with that beautiful male leopard, then listen to me waffle on for the last while. So we're just going to enjoy Tingana quietly for the last little bit of drive, and I'll see you all in the morning.